Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine, and this week I'm going to give you some exercises you can keep using to keep moving throughout the week of Thanksgiving. So use these every day, use these throughout the day. If you want to get up early and move a little and then do it again in the afternoon, there's a lot of ways you can use these videos to just keep moving. I know that this year is different for a lot of us. It's different for me. And finding ways to keep your mind occupied and keep moving. Movement is a great stress reliever. So if you're finding yourself not knowing what to do with yourself, put on one of these videos. You can do it once through in the morning, once through in the afternoon, and once through in the evening, or however you decide to do it. However you decide to do it, just do it. Okay, so today we're going to use some dumbbells and a ball and a band, and I think that's it. So first we're going to start with a seated bent over row. So you can sit on a ball or you can sit on a chair. It doesn't really matter. You can also stand and do a bent over row, but I know that it can be really hard on your low back if you're not doing it properly or if you already have an existing low back injury. So if you don't have a ball, that's fine. Sit on a sturdy chair or a bench. And I'm going to use these weights here that I've set down. We're going to use a set of dumbbells. On that ball or on that chair, we're going to lean over, but notice that I'm going to keep my back as tall as I can. So I'm keeping my core tightened, my shoulders back. I don't want to lean over like this. No slumping. Everything stays nice and tall. Lean over with a nice flat back. Drop those weights down beside your legs and then row up. So this is a good way to do a row without a lot of equipment and not a lot of space. So I'm driving my elbows towards the ceiling. The pressure of the weights is kind of going through my feet as I'm leaning over like this. Squeezing my shoulder blades as I pull my elbows towards the ceiling. And don't forget to keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Go nice and slowly. The more slowly you go with this, the better. If you have a light set of dumbbells, do more repetitions and go more slowly. If you do have a nice heavy set that you're working with here, same thing, go slowly, but you maybe don't need to do quite as many repetitions. Okay, good. When you're finished, you can set them on your knees here and then sit up nice and tall. Okay, remember when you're picking up and setting down your weights to be the most careful, because it's easy to do proper form while you're doing the exercise, but picking them up and putting them away sometimes can be the biggest source of injury. So be careful when you set these down. Keep your back in a good position and keep your core tight. Okay, next we're going to do marches. I'm going to move my camera up a little bit. So you can either do this on the ball or standing. So I'm going to show you standing, and then I'm going to show you on the ball. You can also do it seated. There's a lot of different ways you can do this, but what I want to do is put your hands over your head like this and slowly march up and touch your opposite knee. So this is some balance and some cross coordination, getting a little bit of core involvement here. Nice and slowly is the key here. It's pretty easy to do it fast. So you want to go slowly. We're really challenging that balance and core here. So if you're able to do this standing pretty well, and you want to try it on the ball, it's a little bit more challenging. Hands up, gently. Remember, when you're doing these exercises on a ball, when it involves balance, make sure you're near something sturdy that you can hang on to if you do lose your balance. Maybe set it next to your sofa so you can grab on, or next to a sturdy railing or something, kitchen counter. Nice and slowly. Do this either way. Like I said, you can do it seated or standing. Importantly, when you do these marches and opposite knee touch, keep your back nice and tall. Don't hunch over like this. We don't want to hunch and compromise your low back. So this should all stay nice and tall as I am reaching for that opposite knee. Okay, so do about 10 on each side, and then we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, we're going to do toe walks across the room. So we do calf raises quite a bit. the gym and on these videos, what I want you to do is be up on your toes and take nice big steps across the room. So this is going to be challenging on your balance. If you do have any feet and ankle problems, do this along your kitchen counter so you've got somewhere to hang on. But do it nice and slowly. The more slowly you can do it, the better. So you can either start up and go up on your toes, and then take a step, and then go up on your toe, take a step, go up on your toe, like that. And I think that's actually a little bit harder than just walking across the room on your toes. Either way is a good challenge. You can even try it both ways. Take a step, go up, take a step, go up. I think that's a little bit harder actually, is to take a step and then do that one-legged toe raise. So challenge yourself. Do it for about 30 seconds, back and forth across the room. You can just do it at your kitchen counter. That's a really good place to do it because you have somewhere safe and sturdy to hang on all along there if you do happen to lose your balance. Okay, next we're going to do some standing hamstring curls. So there's a few different ways you can do this too. I'm going to use this loop band. If you don't have a loop band, you can tie a TheraBand together or use ankle weights. So this is a standing hamstring curl. If you have a hamstring injury, maybe you should start without any resistance. So don't use the band, don't use any resistance, and just see how it feels to begin with. So you can just stand next to something sturdy and curl your foot towards your glutes, towards your hips. All right, so that's the motion. I'm gonna sit down and put this on my ankles. Okay, so I want you to stand and slowly curl one leg at a time, trying to keep your knees in line, slowly lifting and lowering your heel towards your hips. Now, when you do this, make sure too, this is when we do these one-legged exercises, you want to keep this side up nice and tall as you curl. We don't want to stand and hang into that hip. That's causing some instability. So stand next to something sturdy to really make sure that you can hang on and keep that hip in control. If you do find yourself kind of slugging out to the side there, only do 5 on each side because I don't want that to happen. So then we'll switch. Nice and slowly each direction. Remember, we're keeping up this hip nice and tall, nice and stable, standing with good posture, keeping our core engaged. All right, good. Those are the hamstring curls. So remember, you can do that with a loop band like this, or you can do it with ankle weights are another good way to do that, and it's another good use for those ankle weights that you might have sitting around your house. Okay, next we're going to grab those weights again for some bicep curls. So remember to pick them up with good form. Bend those knees, keep your core engaged. So we're going to do some bicep curls. So what I would like you to do is do it in a tandem stance. I like to make that unstable surface to begin with. So nice and slowly, actually we're going to alternate these today. So one up and down at a time. So I really want you to focus on one arm, nice and slowly. And actually this challenges your balance a little bit more too when you do one side at a time, because you're having to stabilize and use your core a little bit more to stay nice and stable and straight. So make sure that the weight you're using is appropriate. If you find yourself kind of using your back and kind of assisting like that, then you're using a little bit too much weight. So you want to be able to stand nice and steady, going slowly both directions. The other thing I see a lot with bicep curls is make sure you go all the way down straight. It's actually easier to make sure you go all the way straight with one arm curls because it has to rest at the bottom. But many times I see people stop here. So they'll do a curl, stop here, keep going. Make sure you get that full range of motion, get that full length of muscle. You want to use all the muscle fibers throughout the length of that muscle. Nice and slowly. We'll do one more on each leg. So what you can do is, if you want to, you could switch your tandem stance after 5, or do, your set of 10 with the 1 foot forward the next time through. Make sure you stand with your other foot forward to really challenge your balance in different ways. Okay, finally, we're going to end with a plank. Make sure that I'm on here, okay? We're going to end with a plank with your feet on the ball. So this is actually a really good way to begin doing a plank if you have the balance for a ball in a good wide open area that you're not going to fall into anything. But so you start on your knees with your tummy on the ball and then just kind of walk forward. The good thing about using a ball for a plank is that you can use it kind of as a crutch. So right here is a plank. Most of my body is being supported on the ball. So if you feel like that is doable, I'm just going to make sure I'm far enough on the camera here. You can walk out a little bit further. There's no specific place you have to be for this plank, but you want to keep your body straight no matter how far you decide to walk out onto that ball. So if you're here and you're feeling like this is pretty challenging, don't go any further. And then when you're finished, just slowly walk yourself back this way so that your feet can touch the ground. Okay, so I'm going to go out a little bit further and just show how that works. So right now my knees are on the ball and I'm doing a plank. The important thing is not to let your hips sag like this or let them be up like this. You want to keep a nice flat surface from the top of your head down through your heels, just like any other plank that we do. Don't let your head hang or conversely look up like this. You want to keep your neck nice and happy. So if you're able to, you can go out even further and hold it here. So anywhere along that continuum. And then you are doing a plank on a ball. Okay, so go ahead and do those again. Remember to warm up before you start. You can do 5 minutes of cardio in between, do them again. Make this workout work for you for what you need. We need to keep moving this week. We need to keep our spirits up. We need to keep our stress down. And there's no better way to do that than to keep moving. So message me with any details and have a happy Thanksgiving week. I'll be sending out a couple more videos to keep you moving. All right, thanks everybody. See you next time.